Hi, Michelle here from StrawBearie Designs, and today we're going to be making a muffin mix. This is a mix that you can use any day of the week for fast and easy muffins that are tasty and maybe healthy, maybe not. Stick around and I'll show you how it's done. So my first step is to grind my own grain. Now I know not everybody's gonna do this, so it's perfectly okay just to use flour that comes from the store in a bag, white flour or wheat flour, whatever you like, but I like to have a whole wheat muffin. I just like the taste and it's a little bit healthier for me. I have this mill, and the way it works is you turn it on, you put in the grain, and it turns it into flour. I've had this mill for years and it's a lot of fun knowing that I'm using real whole wheat that hasn't lost its nutrients and everything by sitting on the shelf at the store. And inside, I have flour now. I keep my muffin recipe taped to the inside of my kitchen cabinet. And again, it's been here for years. I probably should have laminated it, and I should probably redo it sometime. But this way, it's very convenient when I'm making muffins in the morning to remember what extra ingredients I have to add to it, and I always know where it is, and I can always find it. The first thing that you add is the flour. My regular recipe calls for 8 cups of flour. You can use regular all-purpose flour, or you can use a mixture of wheat and white flour. Or you can use, if you want a whole wheat muffin, you can use a whole wheat pastry flour. Or you can grind your own. Now, I am halving the recipe because my bowl isn't big enough, so I'm using 4 cups right now. Next, I'm going to use 1.5 cups of sugar. Just plain white sugar. Now this is where it's maybe not quite as healthy because of the white sugar. Okay, I really wanted to make the full recipe, so I have switched out my little bowl for my soup pot because it's one of the biggest things I have. And I will leave the exact ingredient list in the description below or on my blog so that you can find that. All right, so 3 tablespoons of baking powder. I have to go look in my cabinet door to find out what's next. So my original recipe calls for 2 teaspoons each of cinnamon, salt, and nutmeg. However, with the salt, I usually only put 1 teaspoon in. You need salt for some of the properties that it has in it and what it does chemically with the ingredients, but too much salt's not that good for you, so I only use 1 teaspoon. And when I put in the cinnamon, I usually make it kind of a heaping teaspoon. And for some reason, I forgot to check my ingredients today and I didn't have any nutmeg. Well, I didn't have any ground nutmeg, but I do have these little nutmeg berries and a grater. And so I can make 2 teaspoons full. It's just gonna take a while. Once you have all your ingredients in the bowl, you wanna whisk it up really, really good so that it's well mixed. You don't want any areas where it's all sugar and some areas where it's all flour. Once you've done that, you want to take a Ziploc plastic bag and you want to put 3 cups of the flour mixture into your bag. Now 3 cups is going to make about a dozen muffins. If you don't eat that many muffins at one time, you could put 1.5 cups in a bag and then you would have enough for about 6 muffins. On the morning that you want to make muffins, it's really pretty simple. So you're gonna take your muffin tins and you can either spray them with some spray or you can put paper liners in them. Paper liners makes much faster, easier cleanup. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I've done it both ways. And sometimes I've even sprayed the paper liners because these muffins do seem to stick a little because I do not use oil in them. And so sometimes it helps to spray even the paper liners just a little bit if you would like to do that. All All right, once you have your muffin liners or your spray on your muffin pans, set that aside. You're going to take your bowl and you're going to put in your 3 cups of muffin mix. You are going to add 3/4 of a cup of milk. You're going to need 2 eggs. Now, the original recipe calls for 3 tablespoons of cooking oil, but to make it a little bit healthier, I use applesauce, regular. I use the unsweetened applesauce, and I just use the same amounts that I would use for oil. Just makes it a little bit healthier, and I actually like it better now. In fact, there's been a couple times when I haven't had applesauce and I've gone back and I've used oil instead, and they just seem kind of greasy to me, and I don't like greasy muffins. And you're going to mix all of this together. You can mix this by hand, or you can mix it with a mixer. Once it's pretty well mixed together, this is where you can put in your add-ins. Now, for your add-in, you're going to need 3/4 of a cup. You can use something like raisins, or maybe craisins, or blueberries, or whatever fruit or nut that you might like in your muffins. At my house, with my family, we almost always use chocolate chips. I just said they were semi-healthy, right? Whole wheat flour, no oil, but it does have sugar, and it does have chocolate. So I'm going to put in 3/4 of a cup. Of chocolate chips. Now you just fill your muffin cups. Now I'm going to put them in the oven and bake them at 375 for about 20 minutes. So once you put a toothpick in and it comes out clean, then you know your muffins are done. Unless, of course, that toothpick hits a chocolate chip, but, you know, just try again. Thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you're new. And in the comments below, please tell me what you would mix into the muffin mix. Would you do chocolate chips like me? Or would you do something healthier like nuts or fruit? It's so good. This is so not on my diet right now. I think this is going to be my lunch today. It's perfect. You really should try it. It's really good.